Hello and welcome back. This is going to be Interrail part 2, and I really thought about how to go forward with this series from my last video, and I think the best way to do that is to do city by city. That would make much more sense because I'm still waiting to plan the last 2 or 3 cities, right? So we'll just go in a linear order and go from the starting point, which is Brussels, to hopefully Greece, which might be the last destination. The very first thing that I did was book seat reservations from London to Amsterdam because I was pretty sure that I was going to Amsterdam. The only problem with Amsterdam was the accommodation prices. Like I said, pretty expensive, and the Airbnbs, though cheaper, were much more farther out in the city. Instead, we decided to go to Belgium. Please don't make the same mistake as me because I didn't check the accommodation prices. I just booked the seat reservations and I thought I could figure everything out later. But if you're still at the very early planning phase, then please do check out the accommodations and how far it is from the main attractions that you want to go to, and then book the seat reservations after. Like, that's my tip, I guess. Once we figured out that, well, I'm just gonna say I because it's much easier when I explain. So if I say I planned blah blah blah, it means everyone already agreed to the plan. Once I figured out that we were going to Brussels for sure, and checked all of the accommodations and everything, and the prices were better, and the Airbnb was closer to the city, that's when I decided to change the seat reservations. On the website, it does say that it may be exchangeable or non-refundable, and it depends on the ticket you have. I decided to message them through Facebook Messenger here, and just ask them if I could just, like, go to Brussels instead of Amsterdam. And they did take a day or two to reply back, I remember. And because they didn't reply to me within a day, I just got really stressed, maybe. So instead, I called them like a 5 minutes international call or something. And yes, they were really, really nice. Like, the lady that talked to me, she was so understanding and so nice. I think I explained her the whole situation, and honestly, like, she was so nice because she talked to her manager too, and she told me, she was just like, it's okay, you can just get off at Brussels, it's on the way. But like, but very nicely and very professionally. Honestly, I should have known that. Like, that makes so much sense because the Eurostar goes from London to Paris to Lille to Brussels and Amsterdam and maybe Germany, I'm not sure. But I should have known that you can just get off at Brussels because it's the stop before Amsterdam. But I feel like I was so stressed with all the planning, and I was also working and like everything, that I forgot. So when she was just like, oh, it's okay, you can just get off, like, no need to worry, you don't need to get a refund or exchange. I was like, yeah, so that's how it is. They also replied to me on Messenger after, and they just confirmed the same information. Our tickets are still from London to Amsterdam, but they said it's okay. We're just gonna go from London to Brussels, get off at Brussels, and then do our whole trip. The only thing to make sure that you do remember is that if you get off early, so if you get off at Paris or Brussels, wherever you want, you cannot use the same train ticket to go back to Amsterdam. So they've explained that you can get off early, but then that's it, your ticket's finished, it's used up. You cannot use that same ticket and take a train like 4 hours later and go to Amsterdam with that ticket. It's not allowed. Just a side note, for the accommodations, I usually use trip.com here, mainly because I am a member there. So I've been using it for just a couple of years, and I've been collecting points, and those points translate to money that you can use as credit for your next booking, right? So whenever I book something, I use trip.com or Airbnb. This time we opted in for the Airbnb because it was better than the hotel options. I believe it was £325 something for the 3 nights that we're staying in Brussels. This is the Airbnb. I will probably give you the exact listing and location and everything of the Airbnb once we're actually there, and maybe once we've already moved on to Luxembourg, just for privacy. I know there's not a lot of you watching, but just in case, just to be safe. It's got one double bed and one sofa bed. It's on the first floor, which may be a little difficult because I'm thinking we might be taking a cabin bag, like a cabin suitcase, a small one, because our backs aren't good. And I don't mean bags, I mean backs like BACK. Like, my back hurts. And so does my mom's, so does my aunt's, probably my brother too, because we're the same family. So I'm just thinking of taking like one or two cabin suitcases, and I'll send one with my mom and my brother when they go back, and we'll keep one. And of course, after the accommodation was all booked, this accommodation actually, unlike the many others that I looked at, this one didn't have any free cancellation until like the start of the trip, because a lot of them did, you know, 100% free cancellation 2 days before the trip kind of thing. This one was 48-hour cancellation, so I had to be really, really sure that we were going to stay here and it was good enough. So that's why I started planning all of the itinerary within the 2-day limit that they gave us to cancel, right? So make sure that I planned everything within the 2 days. And if I didn't like how far it was, then I could just cancel it, get 100% refund, and then find a different Airbnb. As per my last video, one of the biggest resources that I've used that's really, really helped me is ChatGPT and Gemini, or it used to be Bard when I was still using it. But yeah, so those two were really, really important, especially when planning the itineraries, because, sorry guys, I had to plug in my charger for my well, I don't have a camera, I just use my phone. But yeah, I had to plug in my charger. So I think I'm not in the same spot anymore, but yeah. As I was saying, yes, so Gemini and Bard, it's so easy to get information there. These are all of the prompts that I gave them, and this is all of the results that they provided. I also asked specifics for like, oh, like what do older ladies enjoy? And they gave a lot of good ideas for like botanical garden and just like walk in the parks, nice cafes, more relaxing than the kind of sightseeing that I do usually on trips, because I'm just running the whole day. And speaking of Excel and budgeting breakdown, I did say I'm going to do a really detailed video, and I'm going to try and do that for the next one. Let's see. Or I might do it after the Luxembourg video, because Brussels and Luxembourg, they're all planned. Most of it, they're all planned. So I might do an Excel breakdown after that. Start with Austria and the, the rest of the places, the rest of the cities. Now I'm going to show you a screen recording of the Google Docs that I've made. It's not actually the actual Google Docs, but I just copy and pasted all of the information in a Word document, so you can just see all of the information without any of our private information also being shared by accident. In the actual Google Docs, I have all of our passes and all of the order numbers, the reservation number, the pass number, how many days, how much it costs, everything at the very top. And then this is about my phone data. So thankfully, I don't need to pay any extra because these countries are included in my data. And I am going to only these countries, so everything's good. Day one. So this is London to Brussels. Takes about this much time, and if it's in purple, then we are using the Interrail pass. Well, most of us. It's like in my head, but I haven't wrote it down. And if it is blue, then no Interrail pass that day. Airbnb, it did cost £325, which is 81.25 each. And all of this is filled out in the actual Google Docs. By the time we get to the storage location and everything, we will probably be at 2:45 to 3 p.m. is my prediction. We are going straight to the Brussels Planetarium, and it is €8 for an adult, and for a senior or a child or a student it's much less. And opening times are Monday to Sunday 10 to 5 p.m. So that is why we have to do this before doing any other activities on this day. It was a little bit difficult to plan the planetarium stuff. The thing is, you can get a discount for both the planetarium and the atomium if you decided to visit both. As in, if you buy a planetarium ticket first and then you visit the atomium, then you can get a little bit discount on the atomium entrance and vice versa. So um, so that's why I asked them, because I wanted the group ticket because they're obviously cheaper, right? And in my mind, because usually 3 to 4 people is considered a group in the UK, especially for the train. So I was thinking, oh, we're a group, so we might be able to get the combo, whatever here, the combo tickets. Turns out a group is over 20 people, at least for this attraction, for at least for the planetarium, is 20 people. So we weren't eligible, and for some reason I couldn't buy the tickets online anyway. It just sent me to like movie tickets, so I'm just going to buy the tickets there. This is optional, the walk to mini Europe, because I thought it was just a park, so I thought it was an open park, but someone mentioned that it is actually more like an exhibition and it closes around 5 or 6 p.m. if I don't really remember, sorry, but yeah, it closes pretty early. So I don't think we'll have enough time from the planetarium to visit mini Europe. So this is an optional thing. We go to the Grand Place, which is in the city, well, in the city center. So on the way to the Airbnb, we'll stop by the Grand Place, which is open very, very late. Walk nearby to the, I am not going to pronounce this, and according to ChatGPT, it's a quirky landmark that attracts crowds. So I'm pretty sure this is only for pictures. So we'll be done in 10 minutes. Next is dinner time. I haven't been able to actually look at any recommendations. I think I did for the next day, but these are the dishes that are very famous here. So we'll probably pick a couple of them and try them. Then, of course, we go back to the station, which is close by to the statue and the Grand Place, take our bags from the storage, and go to the Airbnb, which is 30 minutes by train from the heart of Brussels. It's day 2. We're still using the Interrail pass. So, leaving Airbnb early-ish, I guess. I don't know if you would consider 9:30 early, but start at the Royal Palace of Brussels, which is unfortunately closed. It's only open in the summer, like you can see here, although it is outdated information, but I think it's usually around the same time every year, so we won't be able to see the inside, but we can at least walk around the palace grounds, so that's a win. Then we have lunch, and these are the recommendations that I received from ChatGPT. I think we'll probably use one of them for the dinner on the day 1, and then we'll pick one of them for lunch. We'll go to the garden. Then an hour later, we'll go to the district, which is supposed to be charming, full of great atmosphere, very artistic, quirky, apparently. So we'll go there, and then we're done for the day because I couldn't find any more plans. And that's why we might go to Ghent. And I'm popping back in again just to talk about the Ghent trip. Uh, I don't know what's happening, to be honest, because a lot of people have commented saying it's better to go to either Ghent, Antwerp, or Bruges instead of Brussels because they're a little bit better cities. But the thing is, because on the day 3rd we have a really, really big trip, like the whole day will be spent in that place. I don't know if we can squeeze in Ghent for a half a day trip. we'll find out. So honestly, this one's a little bit wonky. I've kind of left it unfinished because I don't know how we'll feel on that day. Maybe we'll be able to go through all of the morning attractions really, really early. So we might finish by like 12, and then we can spend a longer time at Ghent. Or at the same time, we might not be able to finish everything early. Or maybe the rest of the family will be tired and they wouldn't want to do like a trip to Ghent. And we will find out together on the day if we actually made it to Ghent or if we just stayed in Brussels. Like, yeah, surprise, surprise, you'll find it with me, you and me together. Day 3, and I'm personally very excited about this day because we're actually going to a theme park without Interrail passes. Now we will have to take a 2-hour train to Cool, which is where the theme park is. So take it from Brussels North Station, which is not the Brussels Midi. It's a slightly closer station to our Airbnb actually. So good good for us, like 30 minutes walk from the Airbnb. Without Interrail pass is £53 for return journey, but with the single tickets it'll be much much less cheaper, which is why I got them. And we'll be explaining about this in just a few minutes. So it was £81.42 total for a family ticket, which is about 20-40 each. Not too bad. Very, very excited about the animal farm. I know it's not a really big animal farm, but it looks very cute, and there's a lot of sheep, I believe. Go-karting, mini golf, what? Okay. I'll call it mini golf. That I hope that we can play and it's not just for kids. So we'll find out. And the waterfall. I don't think I've ever been to a waterfall before. So this sounds very fun and exciting. I know, I know. I actually asked about this on, I don't know if it was Reddit or Facebook, one of them, and people did say that it's not as big. It's not as big, it's not as good. The rides are okay, but it doesn't have a lot of like good thrilling rides, I guess. But the thing is, like, none of us actually like roller coasters. Like, I don't like roller coasters or heights or whatever. And I'd much prefer like the water rides and the bumper cars and like the simple baby stuff. So it actually made sense for us to go to this theme park instead because they have an animal farm. The theme park is only open certain times of the year, so please, if you are planning to go there like me, please check the dates. Almost forgot about the Brussels single tickets that I was talking about. So because our Interrail passes are different times, different days. So some of us have longer days, some of us have shorter days. So instead of using Interrail pass in Brussels, so in PLOPSA cool, but my aunt mainly is going to be using single tickets instead because it's so much cheaper than using an Interrail pass for like a local trip. I just downloaded the SNCB app, and thanks to someone who said that there is a standard multi pass, which is what it's called standard multi times 10, and it is only 99 euros. So you have 10 single tickets that you can use, and it's valid for a whole year, I believe, since you buy it. This is what they said anyway. So this is a good option for you if you got adults over 26 years of age and if you're in a group. For example, Plopsa Coup, we are going from Brussels North to Cool, which is 2 hours trip, and there are obviously changes, like many stops in between. It's still going to be considered one trip because if you have a paper pass, you write it down in the paper, like Brussels North to Cool. If you have a mobile ticket like me, I heard that you can just once you activate the ticket, then you can just jot it down saying you're going from this station to this station, and it's still counted as just one single trip, even if you stop in the middle and then you explore that city for a couple of hours. As long as you reach Ku, or like the end destination before the day ends, then it's still considered a single trip. We're all going to be taking using a single ticket from Brussels North to Ku, so that's 3 people. because my brother is still under 26, so he needs to get separate tickets for himself. But yeah, for us three adults, it's going to be three single tickets used from Brussels Notes to Koo. Then we spend the day in Koo, blah blah blah. Then we come back from Koo to Brussels North. It's going to be another three tickets, right? So six used already. From according to my calculations, we'll probably be using at least 9 of the 10 single tickets for Brussels, and my brother will probably just get two single tickets. So he's not gonna get the multi-pass bundle. He's not gonna get the youth pass bundle because 10 tickets is too much for him alone. So he's probably just going to get a ticket whenever he's gonna get on the station and off the station, whereas us three will be using those standard multi tickets together. The museum, I just put it there with a question mark because someone commented that that's their favorite museum and it's free. The only thing is, it is 2 hours away from the PLOPSA Park, so by the time we get back to Brussels, we might be too tired. But I'm thinking if my family don't want to go and they want to go and rest at the Airbnb, and if I have some energy left, I might just pop in for an hour or two and just, do a quick museum tour. Day 4. This is when we're actually leaving Brussels. So we will be using an Interrail pass because it is an international journey. It was very shocking that the public transport is free in Luxembourg. We will discuss this in the next video. So that video is going to be dedicated just for Luxembourg. I personally don't know if it's a good itinerary or not. I'll only find out when I get there. But if anyone has any recommendations, if anyone has any questions, or if anyone thinks I should switch a couple of things around or include more, include less, please do let me know if you are watching. I would love to hear from you. And back to the normal video. Let's say goodbye to the screen recording. But this is not a complete, exhaustive list of things to do that day. So what I'm planning is this is just a sample. So, we don't have to stick to it. It's just very good to have a couple of hour by hour itinerary. And to be honest, if you want to skip a couple, then it's fine. If we have more time to add things that weren't in this list, then it's also fine. But I just like having a, a hour by hour of what to do or where to go, so I know I can stay focused. So everything I made sure to check also on Google for reviews and opening times and any restrictions, any discounts that we may get. So this is what I've compiled so far. And I have noticed a couple of the attractions are closed when we'll be there, but that's okay because I've tried to supplement it with other different activities that we all might like. Let's see. That's it. I hope I've covered everything. I think I probably did because I did write a script for it so I don't forget. But if you really had a question and if you wanted to know more about any of these itineraries or any of this planning, then please do let me know. I will try to answer as much as possible. And yes, so look forward to the other video about Luxembourg. Then I'm gonna do an Excel breakdown of all the expenses that we've oh my god, yeah, all the expenses so far. And after that will be the video on Austria. And since I haven't planned Italy or Greece yet, I'll probably just do it on the fly, like when I'm traveling, maybe we'll see. Thank you so much for watching again, and shout out to my friends AJ and SH. I'm trying to give them nicknames. But thank you for always supporting me, girls. Like, I see you. You're always commenting and you're always liking my videos. And thank you so much. I love you. That's all. So I'll see you soon and happy interrailing, I guess. I don't know how to end this video, but yeah.